I'll share with you a secret that a lot of people just don't talk about. And that secret is, how do you get into a job, sector, an industry, a field? By going in the back door or the side door. You ready? Okay. So basically, a hack is to volunteer, to intern, to show up without the expectation of getting paid and giving your time for free, while at the same time you're generating knowledge, information, you're developing relationships, you're having a consistent interaction within this field, you're able to develop your resume. There's so many skill sets that come from you just showing up for free. There are internships that are associated with school programs, there are internships that are associated with certain nonprofits, there are internships that are associated with summer programs, winter programs, short-term programs, long-term programs. It's a part of a school situation, whether it be your college education, whether it be a high school community service project. There's so many ways that you could kind of knock on the door to a particular industry by just simply being an intern or volunteer. Not that much of a difference, except for the title in most cases. However, an intern is somewhat of a pathway where there is at least an end in sight. You become an intern and you have an internship. There's also something called an externship, which is typically through a college program, whether it be a graduate course, whether it be a master's degree, whether it be for the end of your bachelor's degree, whether it be for an advanced master's degree, a professional certification. At the end of the day, if you give your time for free in a particular organization, it's hard for people to deny that free help. But what you get in return is invaluable. What you get in return is something that is probably hard to quantify on paper, especially if you meet the right people in the process of doing what it is that you do for free. Relationships, 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 industry secrets, information that's probably hard to find on the internet can be found by just showing up and being present within a particular space, whether it be the entertainment industry, whether it be food, whether it be the healthcare industry, whether it be security, whether it be education, whether it be journalism, whether it be sports, you name it. Most of these sectors, most of these industries have an opportunity for you to come and give your time for free. The organizations that I've been a part of, whether I've led those organizations, whether I've gone in as a consultant, whether I've gone in as a salaried employee, whether I've been a part-time employee, there's always an opportunity for somebody to come in and either join the team by way of an internship or being a volunteer. I encourage you today, one of the first things that you can do to empower your next step towards getting into a field or industry that you're just not aware of how to get into and break down that door, find some volunteer opportunities. Go online. Indeed, Career Builder, Monster, the list goes on. I mean, you could even go to Craigslist. Wherever you feel comfortable going in order to be safe, to gain access to information related to employment opportunities, Google volunteer opportunities, Google internships in your city, in your municipality, in your state. There are federal opportunities to be interns. There are state opportunities to be interns. There are local opportunities to be interns. There are even international opportunities to be interns. You'd be shocked. But listen, a lot of the successful people that you see in certain industries, they started off as interns. And in some cases, they started off as volunteers. I met a guy who is now the leader of an organization who started as an intern, became a direct service employee, became a supervisor, became a director, became a regional manager, then at some point or another became the CEO of the organization. It's not impossible, you'll be surprised, but at the same time, if you're young, if you're older, and you don't know where to start, volunteer, intern. That's kind of free game. An intern is gonna be somebody who has the opportunity to grow because they're gonna give you a minimal responsibility in many instances, but that minimal responsibility still requires that you use critical thinking. Still requires that you set goals. It still requires that you actually roll up your sleeves and have to use your brain in order to get this thing done. By doing that thing, it actually gives you the opportunity to grow for free. Some of the unspoken benefits of becoming an intern is as simple as learning the culture of a workspace. You may not know anything about this industry. You may be enamored with this industry and really think it's like a dream job until you go in as an intern and you kind of see beneath the surface behind the veil, and you kind of look at stuff and you're like, wait a minute. That's what you guys do as engineers, or that's what you guys do as mechanics, or that's what you guys do as professors, or that's what you guys do as a line chef, or that's what you guys do in nonprofits, or whatever. You may see something that changes the way you think about the particular dream job you thought it was gonna be just by being an intern, just by showing up in a particular space. Now, mind you, the benefit to the people that are allowing you to come in as an intern or a volunteer is that it's free. And their hope is that you'd give them service. You'll be able to help them get something done without them having to spend money. It's a win-win for both sides of the spectrum. However, I believe that an intern is probably gonna win a little bit more in this particular process, because what you gain is knowledge and awareness of this particular setting. You get an understanding of the culture of this workspace. You get an understanding of what it's like to be in this particular industry without even being technically within this industry. It's something that you can use to enhance your resume. Your curriculum vitae is something that you can use to just enhance your profile. And even in your conversation, you can say, yeah, I was interning at wherever during a job interview. You'll be surprised they'll stop and say, tell me a little bit more about this internship. And it just adds to the conversation. It's something that will enhance your knowledge base of a particular sector. It's something that will give you more insight. It's a beautiful thing. Probably one of the more overlooked aspects of an internship is you learning the jargon. Every industry, every sector has their own jargon, whether it be acronyms, whether it be the way that they use shorthand to talk about a particular thing, whether it be just names and titles of different parts of this particular job or this sector. You learn the conversation, you learn the vernacular, you learn the language, you learn the ins and outs just by kind of being there and seeing and feeling the pace of it. It's one thing to read, to study about something, but it's another thing to actually be there, to see, to feel, to taste, to smell, to touch what it is that you're doing. And believe it or not, one of the best ways to do this is to knock on the door. Can I come in as an intern? Can I be a volunteer? I'd like to be of service to you for free. I just want to learn more about this industry. I just want to learn more about this store. I want to learn more about these products. Is there any way that I can help you? You'll be surprised what you can learn. The final thing I'll say is when you do get in those doors and you get behind the scenes and you get to speak to the people who call the shots, the directors, the CEOs, the presidents, the managers, the supervisors, people who actually have people that they oversee. Ask questions that you probably won't find online or elsewhere because they're industry secrets. Once you're in the presence of somebody that's making a decision and you really don't understand what you just saw, can I ask you a question? Why'd you make that decision? Or why'd you do that? Or what do I need to know in order to get a better understanding of that thing? Whatever it might have been. The ingredients that they use, like what would you actually use? Whatever. Ask questions. You'll be surprised what type of responses you get and how that might enhance your opportunities for a job, either in this sector or probably in another sector. I've talked to you in the past about transferable skills, and an internship is definitely one of those places where you can acquire some of those transferable skills. And if not transferable skills in terms of what you can functionally do with your hands, you have transferable knowledge, information that you can take from this sector and it would apply and it would enhance your footprint as you move to another sector or another industry. I will say that being an intern and a volunteer is not convenient for everyone because everyone doesn't have the time to spend for free doing something. But if you do, it could change your life. Have you actually been hired because of your internship or being a volunteer in a particular industry or sector? If so, share that information. Share that story. Encourage somebody else who's watching this video. Let's empower one another. So take this information and go change the world around you. If you run an organization or if you're aware of opportunities for people to volunteer, to intern, whether it be nationally, whether it be locally, whatever your state, whatever your agency, your organization, throw it in the chat. Let's start a conversation. In fact, if you disagree with what I'm saying, if you've had negative experiences as a volunteer or an intern, share that too. Let's talk about it. This is Kaz with Get Equipped TV. All the best to you in your journey to become a better professional, and our hope is to empower tomorrow's professionals in our conversation. Peace and love.